It's cooking time! We have to test the new cards. These cards are so good, especially Revolution Synchron and Crimson Dragon. The other are all dog shit apart for Wheel Synchron if you want to play another brick, but I don't want to play the bricks. I want to play resiliency and consistency, and these two cards are exactly that. Revolution Synchron is basically Red Rose Dragon, but better because you don't even need to play the breaks, the Baza Rose shit, and the Rockstars Dragon. Fuck them, we play Revolution Synchron, it's a 3 and it's searchable, so let's go! I want to put a build together that does not play a lot of bricks, that has consistency, that has resiliency, and a broken oppressive board. So I did it, and I picked the most interesting games. I've been playing a bunch of other tags throughout the video, you're gonna see it, but the core is fixed. It's again Brave Synchron, but this little shit makes it so much better. It's insane. Look at how cute it is. Let's go. So, first game, we play against Branded and they don't commit any hand trap. So, my friend, you're getting cooked because I have full combo. And you're gonna see what the new stuff does. Basically, Revolution Synchron is an amazing normal summon, and it's also a great extender if you get to have a level 4 body on field, because there is Ancient Fairy Dragon back. You can also go into Access Synchro Stardust Dragon if you have a level 5 level 5 non-tutor monster on the field. For example, with a Trail with Illumination that boosted the hair level. Yeah, it's very useful, but the main purpose of the card is to normal summon. And yeah, the reason why I said my opponent is getting cooked if he doesn't have any hand traps is because Librarian, of course, will let you draw a bunch of stuff, and we're setting up 3 negates and 2 hand drips, and with 5 cards in hand. Actually, there is really nothing my opponent can do. Like, what you're gonna do? Like, really? What you're gonna do? Even if you draw a Dark Ruler, I still have Ash for his Branded Fusion, and I was unlucky to not hit Branded Fusion in the first place. So, and even if all the stars align and they can play through my hand traps, they cannot kill me. And I have Right, I have Ringo Worm, and I have Omega coming back. Like, there is simply no way you're losing this kind of games. Now we have Branded again, but it's post side now. We're going second. My opponent is going for the Explosion Lock. It's not the same guy as before. This guy is on Branding High Spirits and with T element stuff. But it's not gonna change that much. If we have a response to the Explosion combo, we can play and we probably can win. And in this case, we happen to have a response to the Explosion combo. We have Eclipse. First of all, sorry, I'm gonna pause the video. First of all, they go for Idol, not for the gimmick puppet one, which is already a misplay because I can out that with Book of Eclipse. But even if he had something else, I could call by, and then I have Eclipse and Tactics Thrust that will simply win the game. That's not very complicated. But since he didn't play the correct explosion target, he is getting cooked even more. So yeah, Book of Eclipse, the whole board is answered, and I have Called by the Grave to respond to his Branding Red, and there's really nothing you can do. Let's now move on to Kashtira. This is before siding. I'm going first, and he has Shifter. That's the beauty of the Brave stuff. Like, you can just go Brave control and just hit them with a rock, and they're not gonna be able to play through it. Um, Again, simple Griffin and Nibiru is very strong. He had Book of Moon and he had Impermanence, and that's fine because again he doesn't have any way to play around Nibiru. He can set up the Arise Pass board, but I mean that is really easy to dismantle, especially if you already have Draco back in hand. He goes for the full board. As soon as he goes into a Rise Hard and he has the materials for Mindhacker, I drop the nib. Again, he uses the Imperm to negate my Faithful, but I had Enchantress in hand, so nice deck, I'm gonna win. Now it's very simple. Bounce the token, Jet Synchron, make speeder, and yeah, it's just game on board. Could you scoop already? Please, it's game. Even if it wasn't game. I mean, what you're gonna do? But yeah, he wanted to play it out, so okay, we played out and we beat it. Very easy. Let's now play against Labyrinth. We lose the dice roll, so we go second. He sets 2 and passes with 2 bricks in hand and Lava Golem. I use Fenrir, and that's already threatening because he has to have something, but he doesn't shotgun his interruptions. He waits for a bit, and then he goes pop the Brave token and pop Fenrir. That's okay because we have the extenders necessary to win the game. He goes with a big welcome. It's not wait. It's a big welcome. He destroys my ancient fairy dragon because he doesn't want me to get to another field spell, of course. But we have Baron, and we can just go Baron control, and that Lava Golem will be useless. His top deck is evenly matched, and that doesn't do anything because I just keep Baron and negate the Lady Labyrinth, and yep, I revive Storas, and Labyrinth doesn't even play hand traps, so I can just go make speeder. Ooga booga speeder, ooga booga speeder, ooga booga speeder, ooga booga speeder, and yeah, he can just go whenever he wants. Oh, I also have Shining Grip. So, yeah, let's go to game number 2, I think. It's game 3. It's game 3, I lose game 2, and this is game 3 where I go first for spot side. Thrust putting in work here. I threaten a Harpy Feather Duster, and it's very strong to have that. And he's gonna try with all of his cards to out it. For some reason he doesn't Lava Golem my Griffin. I think he wanted to punishment that skill drain. Now the Ents is a response to my Griffin, of course. Sorry, I misspoke. It's a response for my Feather Duster, and he had to do that in standby phase. Here is a bit unfortunate. I mean, with unfortunate, I outplayed him because Herald can play around skill drain. He sends to himself to grave when he tries to negate, so that compose is not gonna resolve, and we're about to bounce the skill drain and then make speeder. Surprise, surprise, speeder is game. He's wasting our time here because there is nothing else he can do. Yeah, it's just speeder. How is this not game? Like, he wanted to see the game on board to scoop, but I mean, sure. How badly you want me to play to not have game off of speeder and, you know, a full hand? Time now for Runick Naturia. It's post side and I'm going second. Thrust is glued to my hand, but I mean, that thrust could have been a right. I'm basically, with thrust, I'm playing 10 copies of rights both side, and if I really want, I can grab a terraforming for Paraísos or Wastrot, whatever how you pronounce it. So it has a lot of board breaking capabilities in engine. It, I mean, you can just pick evenly and wipe the board. This is very interesting. So I wanted to play conservative because I know he doesn't have a battle phase next turn, so I can just leave Fenrir here and keep all of my resources for turn 4. And that was a very good decision, first of all because he had Nibiru and Kelbeck. These are very strong into the Brave combos. I mean, Nibiru is not that useful, but Kelbeck contests my Faithful combo. Um, Also, I don't have Griffin, so that's another downside. And I just go like, sure, I'll keep my stuff. Fenrir already is threatening by itself. Okay, I go Thrust because now it's live and I set. And he destroys my Fenrir. Mole Cricket into Camellia, Camellia into Naturia Sacred Tree, search the Monster Reborn, set boss. I draw another Tactics Thrust. Runick doesn't do anything because he didn't use the field spell for some reason. Yeah, now Apple Dragon special. I can search the Enchantress. No, wait, before doing that, I go, okay, this is a very important interaction here. I go Stardust and into Access Synchro Stardust Dragon. The point here is I want to keep Access Synchro's body on the field. And if it doesn't Sunflower negate my Access Synchro Stardust Dragon here, I can just make Baron. And then it's or even just beat over, right? And he has to negate the revive effect, and I can chain Access Synchro Stardust Dragon. I don't care if I don't get the body, the level 2 or lower tuner from the grave. The only thing I care is to keep the high level body on the field. I mean, on the field to synchro climb, right? So he Sunflower negates, Access Synchro chains, and he revives the Sunflower, but it's too late because I have a Dispatter and it's unaffected by monster negates. And actually, it's unaffected by activity effects, period. Here he goes Kalbeck because he doesn't know Dispatter is unaffected. So that Kalbeck literally does nothing, but he wouldn't have done anything anyway. So yeah, and I don't negate it. Here again, I could have just misplayed and negate the Sunflower when I attempt to revive Jet, but there's no point to, because I can just Revolution Synchro Revive. It's a glow up bulb every like that's I don't need to play into Nibiru, and he had Nibiru. I could negate it, and now my Spirit Praise will resolve. And yeah, that's simply too much for him to handle at the moment. Another broken interruption is Soul Synchron reviving your dragons. That's so good. And now like I go Punisher, get a token as a body for Punisher, pay 1,000, punch, and it's game. So very well played on my part this time. Last match, Runick Spright. I don't know if I think we're going game 1. Yeah, I just lost the dice roll, and this should be game 1. I'm going second, and I don't have a very strong hand, but Faithful Adventure is still a very strong card even if you don't roll right. Ash was enough to... Oh yeah, it's definitely Brayside. Oh, yeah, it's Brayside. And Ash was enough to make him only pass on one interruption, which is Sprint, and he uses Sprint to bounce my Brave token because otherwise I can just force it with Drekobek, so he would have lost the interaction. And his Nibiru is not gonna do anything because, you know, I don't care about Nibiru. And this is thanks to... Oh, that... First of all, that Nibiru was way too late. Like, way too late. What are you waiting for? But even if you drop the Nib correctly, I can still OTK through that because Crimson Dragon is a card and the Nib token is level 11. Revolution or Jet Synchron can just revive, make Crimson Dragon, and then climb from there. I can tribute the Crimson Dragon, revive Crimson Dragon with a Soul Synchron. I have Access Synchro Stardust Dragon that revives. I have a lot of gas post Nibiru if Speed resolves. So he even misplayed and held Nibiru too much. I can just chain Access Synchro Stardust Dragon. Trey is gonna be sent to the graveyard, but that's not a problem at all. And here is what I was saying. Crimson Dragon is level 12, and that makes it very useful for scenarios like this one. And this pair is a great target. You don't need to play Trishula, turn skips with King Calamity. There's really no point to. You can just use this pair as a target, and it's a great card. You're hand looping your opponent, but what do you want more than that? Like, what do you want more than that? What, do you really need the Trishula stuff? You don't. This is already very strong. I gotta say, I'm really impressed by these cards. I think the deck is very strong, very resilient, and very consistent. You just have to be very good at building it, because I've seen there are a lot of good tuners and you just cannot play them all. You have to decide and play a reasonable amount of tuners, balance with the non-tuners. That's why I'm also playing Fenrir with the planet and Shiren with her planet, because first of all, Fenrir is a decent board breaker, of course. Second of all, they're level 4 and 7, and they're the same level of the Brave stuff that helps you at picking your tuners correctly. Like, you don't have to match a lot of levels, you just have to match level 3, level 4, and level 7. Yeah, I think this deck is really a potential tier 1 in the future, so we're gonna see. We're really gonna see how this goes. I hope we get even more support, but I'm happy with what we have, to be honest. I cannot wait to play this in the TCG. I cannot wait to cook people with a deck that they don't even know where it's coming from. So until then, just playing the TCG with what we have at the moment is still strong, not this strong, but still good, and yeah, we're gonna enjoy it.